Hi there everyone, it's Liz again and welcome. We are live here on YouTube. Remember, as I always say, we're live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern here on Annie's Crafts YouTube channel. So hopefully you can join, and if you're here today, go ahead and leave me a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from and what you're working on. So I'm just going to dive right in today. I'm going to show you what I've been working on, a few things I've completed, and I'm also going to do, of course, a quick tutorial, and that is going to be how to make this cute little puff stitch flower. So here I made one in a worsted weight yarn, and then I made one in a fingering weight yarn, so you can see the difference. But before I dive into the tutorial, I want to tell you just a few things that are happening. So I don't know if I mentioned it last week when we were live, but I did receive my new issue of Crochet Magazine, and this is the summer issue. So if you're here and you've received yours, let me know what you think. Give me a heart or a thumbs up if you love it. Of course, I love it. And I want to tell you a few of the designs that I really are my favorites. So first of all, the cover is a really beautiful cold shoulder mandala top. It's really pretty and summery and lacy, and it's got that pretty cold shoulder. Love that one. And this is another fun lacy one that I love. It's a simple sophisticated lace ruana. This one's designed by Kristen Omdow. And I love this one because it looks nice and light. It's probably a fingering weight or a lace weight yarn. So it's going to be really, really pretty summer project. And let me show you one more while I'm waiting for people to hop on and say hello, because I want to show you another one that I love. This is called the Fringed Poncho Top. This is like a really fun boho style looking top. I love the fringe, and I love all the lace, different sort of lace patterns in this one. So this is another fun one that I love. So, like I said, if you pop on, let me know what you think about the new issue. Okay. So if you were here last week, we did a granny square, and I just want to show you how far I've gotten on my granny squares. We talked about the granny square cardcoat pattern, and this was from Annie's Creative Studio. So I know I talked a bunch about Annie's Creative Studio last time, and today we're going to talk more about Knit and Crochet Now, but it's kind of similar because all of the Knit and Crochet Now episodes are within Annie's Creative Studio. So if you go and you get your membership for Annie's Creative Studio, you're going to get all the Knit and Crochet Now episodes, as well as all of the other online crochet classes, quilting classes, sewing classes, knitting classes, cross stitch, all kinds of fun crafts on Creative Studio. So I'll put the link in the description if you want to check out Creative Studio if you haven't already. And these are all of the squares that I've made. So once I make all my squares, I think I need about, around 30 or 25 of each color, then I'm going to make this beautiful cardcoat, which I absolutely love. So I made all of these, guys, and then once I'm finished with all of these squares, then I just use the black yarn and just join them together with the black yarn. So maybe I'll do a little tutorial for you guys once I'm finished to show just how to sort of put it all together. And put those aside. So today I'm going to show you the Thai Garden headband. So this is from an episode of Knit and Crochet Now. You can't really see it too well in the picture because I just have a black and white printer. But this is from Knit and Crochet Now, which, like I said, is on Creative Studio. This is episode, this is season 6, episode 13. But that's okay that you can't see because I can show you mine, which I have completed. See how pretty that is? This was really cool. I'll put it on so I can show you. I wasn't wearing it because I did my hair, but it's actually really cute. It looks kind of like a little, put that on the side there, like a little flapper, sort of one of those boho style bands. So it looks really cute, but see, it was easy to make, it was quick to make, and I used scrap yarn that I had in my stash, just like some yarns. This was the Beautiful You by Lion Brand. See, I had a bunch of these just like single colors that I couldn't really make a whole garment out of. So I used up those, and I just made the band, and I made the 6 flowers, and then I just sewed the flowers on there, and it's all in this pattern, Thai Garden headband, and it's by, this pattern is by Jenny King, but there's also a whole class on it on Knit and Crochet Now. But I'm going to show you how to work up the flower. So now that I've showed you everything I'm working on and everything I've completed, I'm just going to do a tutorial, and we're going to see how to do that puff stitch flower. So let me just move my phone here. Hopefully I won't have an issue. So you guys can get a good look at my hands and what I'm doing here. Okay, and if I could close up, there we go. That looks good. So here's a close-up of my headband. So this part of it is just a simple linen stitch, and then I made the flowers and just sewed them on. This is, I'll show you the inside because this is where I seamed it together, and then I just sewed in all those flowers. And I mean, you can see all those colors, but it's, you know, you can't see it on the outside. The pattern, she used just a one color. It was like a variegated yarn, and she did everything in the same color. So you can do that too. You can do all this solid. I just chose to use all these different colors because that's what I had in my stash. And so this is how it looks if you use a worsted weight yarn like this one with a 5.5 millimeter hook. And this is how it looks in the fingering weight yarn. So of course for the headband, you're going to want to use the fingering weight yarn, but if you want to make these puff stitch flowers for anything else, like if you have a bag or a sweater that you want to do some fun applique on, you can, you know, make them in any size yarn that you want. So I'm not going to show you how to do the band because, like I said, that's just a quick linen stitch, and that's all in the pattern there. So in the written pattern. And of course with the Creative Studio, you're going to get all the written patterns. So every single class over on Creative Studio and Knit and Crochet Now, they have you know, patterns that you're learning. So of course every single class comes with the printable patterns, so you can print those out and work along with the video. So we're starting with a slip knot. And I'm going to start and show you with the worsted weight, and this is a 5.5 millimeter. So the flower starts with a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can use the chain of 5, and then you just connect that chain. So you join that chain with a slip stitch. So you're going to go to the 5th chain, which is here. It's kind of like the first one you made, and just join in there with a slip stitch. You can also use a magic ring if you prefer to use a magic ring to start flowers and granny squares and things like that. And we did that last week, but today I'm going to use the joined chain because that's how the pattern is written. So we're going to, inside into that circle, we're going to work 6 single crochet stitches. And see, here's this little tail. You can just work right over that tail. That's what I normally do. So I'm just going to go into the center of the ring, pull up a loop, and work my first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you hear any little voices in the background, that's, you know, the kids are home, unfortunately. I'm sure everybody's kids are home. We're doing work from home, schoolwork, and all that fun stuff. So It's an adjustment for everyone. So here I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets in there. So I'm going to join to this first one that I made. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're just going to join with a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 starting here. Now to start the petals, and this is pretty simple, we're just going to work a single crochet. And then we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to give you some height for your puff petals. Now make sure you're working everything into that same stitch, because if you move over to the next one, you're not going to have enough petals. So into the same stitch that we just worked the single crochet, we're going to work our puff stitch. And hey there, Brad said, thank you for explaining so well. You are very welcome. I'm glad you're here. So for the puff stitch, we're going to yarn over 7 times, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So first you yarn over, and then you insert into that same stitch that you're working, and then you're going to pull up a loop and pull that up as high, up to the height of your chain 3. Okay, and then we're going to do that 6 more times for a total of 7. So 1, 2, 3, and just kind of yank it a little bit so you can get it up as high as you can. 4, 5, and 6. It gets a little tight in there, but you can get them all in there. Okay, so now we're just going to pull through all of those loops that are on our hook. So yarn over and pull through all of those loops. Just gently work it through so you don't lose what's on your hook, and then through that last one. And then we do a chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and that chain 3 is going to bring us right back down into that single crochet where we started. So we're going to single crochet right back into that same stitch. Remember, all of this is worked into the same single crochet, and that's 1 puff. Okay, now you might have to just sort of push it over to make sure you're not, to make sure you're going into the right single crochet, because these tend to, go over this and then you can't see where you're working. So make sure you're working into the right single crochet. And we're going to do the same thing. So single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then our puff stitch, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, yarn over, gently pull through all of those loops on the hook. Make sure you don't drop it. If you do, it's okay, it happens. You just have to either start over or pick them back up and somehow get it through there. And then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And back down, single crochet into there. So as you can see, we are really shoving a lot of stitches into one little space. So it's going to be tight to work. And with this worsted weight yarn, we're really shoving a lot in there because it's kind of a thick yarn. This one, it's a little simpler with the fingering, but I wanted to show you so you could see it better on camera. But either way, any type of yarn, like I said, you can do this. Okay, let's do another one. So single crochet, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull up to the height of the chain 3, 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 times. Pull through all of those, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and back down into that same stitch.
here's our next one. Single crochet, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can see how my flower's kind of stretching out a little bit, but that's okay. It'll go back down. Chain 3 and single crochet into there. So we've done 4. So we're just going to do 2 more. And then once we do our puff in this single crochet and in this single crochet, then you're just going to slip stitch into this first single crochet to join, and then, so let's say I did those other 2, then you join, and then you make a nice long tail so you can sew your flower on. So you join and then you pull that through. And now you've got a long tail and you can use that for sewing. I didn't do those last 2, but you get the idea. So here's what it looks like. And then you just take that and sew it right onto your headband. And like I said, you can really sew it on anything. It's just a pretty little applique you can use for anything. And that's it. It's just those 2 rounds. No more rounds than that. And that is our Thai garden headband. Let me just move my phone so I can. So before I go, I just wanted to remind everyone, hopefully if you like that little puff stitch, you can give me a heart or a thumbs up or leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And also I wanted to remind everyone to check out Annie's Creative Studio if you haven't already. And make sure you go on Annie's Facebook page. And we have a crochet group where everybody can join and show off what they're working on, ask questions of other makers. It's just a fun community. So make sure you join the Annie's Facebook group. And right now we're doing a fun little thing where I took a poll and I posted 2 granny squares, and we're going to do a fun poll where you choose which granny square you want me to demo. So the winner is going to be Friday on Facebook Live. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it again here on YouTube on Wednesday. So don't miss that. And thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I will see you again next week, 1 p.m. here on Annie's Crafts YouTube channel. Bye.